again. If you are a regular, nice to see you. Nice to come and chew your ear off again. And if you're brand new, then hi. I hate doing those introductions. I'm not going to bother anymore. I hate doing them. Right. I don't even know why I started, to be honest. I just thought it was a bit rude if I didn't. Anyway, how are we all doing? So this is the video that was meant to go up last weekend. It's going to be a bit of a mishmash. There's going to be a bit of a jumping around. It's a bit of a vlog, but I'm doing an intro. So this is the intro to the video I should have put up a week or so ago. And then things all went a little bit awry. So before I get into what's gone on, let's have a look at the rest of it, shall we? Off we go. Morning. It is morning. It's 10:30 on Sunday the 13th of December. And I thought today we'd have a bit of a vlog. So I was going to start this morning earlier, and as per usual, totally forgot. So I am now at my destination, which is Milton Keynes. Well, I'm not in Milton Keynes, I'm near Milton Keynes, but I'm not going to tell you exactly where because it's creepy. Yeah, so I am near Milton Keynes, and I am sat in my car, and if you can hear any weird noise, it's because it is persistently precipitating, or as we like to say in Britain, it's pissing it down. So that's just the rain on my car. So I'm a little bit early, but I am going to get tattooed. I'm really excited. It's a tattoo I've been waiting for not too long. Probably, it was a Halloween release. So one of my favourite artists, Katya, who I will introduce you to today. She's given me permission to vlog. So I've been following her for ages. So she goes by WitzTattoo, which is WITZ tattoo. She's on Facebook, she's on Instagram. Please go and check out her work. She is amazing. And I will show you some of the bits she's done for me. If you've seen in my videos, my lantern and bats and my moth, she's done all of that. My Jack the Ripper, Stalker, Victorian drunk, whatever you want to call him, she's done that as well. So basically the bottom of this arm is all hers. She also did my Edgar Allan Poe piece. I am going to do a tattoo tour at some point. I'm really sorry if this is getting really noisy, but it is absolutely checking it down. Yeah, she did my Edgar Allan Poe piece as well, so I'm going to do a tattoo tour at some point. But today we are doing this part. I can't show you because I'm holding my phone with that hand, but basically the underside of this arm, so the same place that he's just ended up being called Jack the Ripper, but where Jack is, on the same part of my arm. And it is well, I'm not going to tell you, I will put a picture up here if I've remembered how to do it, because she did a load of flash designs and said, you know, who wants them. And they actually had a bet in the place, and the piercer there, who knows me from coming in and seeing Kat, basically said she's going to have that one instantly. And it was bought, paid for and booked within half an hour of the flash going up. So I'm really excited. I love plague doctors. I think they're fascinating. I think the whole masks thing for plague doctors is fascinating. You will have seen me do a plague doctor photo shoot recently. So yeah, really excited to get that one done. It's really pretty. I mean, the more you look at it, the more you see in the tattoo. So what can I tell you about Katya? She has been tattooing for 5 or 6 years, I think. She is under 30 or nearly 30. She is fabulous. I mean, she does the size of a 50p piece micro portraits that are just amazing. She's won awards. I actually first saw her work on Instagram, and then she turned up at the Oxford tattoo convention the first time I went, and she was there the second time I went, and every time I've been like, I've got to get ink by her, and she had such a waiting list. And I didn't really know what I wanted at the time, but she had such a waiting list and I couldn't get in. And then I was really lucky to get in with her. I think it was, I genuinely can't remember where it was. I believe it was either really early this year or the end of last year when I got my moth done. And then I have to look up on Instagram the date, because I would have put it up, but I can't remember. So I got my moth done, and then while we were talking, she was like, oh, this would look really good, because we were talking about the inside of my arm, what I was going to do, wasn't sure. And she gave me an idea, and I'm like, yeah, love it, love it, love it. So we've worked on that a couple of times. That's when we put Jack in as well. And yeah, I mean, her artwork's just fabulous. The piece she's done for me, my Edgar Allan Poe, is absolutely astonishing. I love it. So in about, I'm just going to have a quick bit of drink and some sugar, make sure I've got my mask. I have got my headphones ready because I like to sit and listen to stuff while I'm being inked, and normally go to sleep as well. So I am, what have I got today? I think I've got a true crime podcast that I'm listening to. I've, oh, there you go. I've actually got into watching, quick plug here. If you like true crime and mysteries and stuff, I've been watching a girl called Kendall Ray on YouTube. They've got a podcast as well that she does with her husband. But there's a lot of like American murder mysteries, missing persons, all these kind of things that are just absolutely fascinating cases. You're not sure if they've done it, they've not done it, or they've done it and then they've tried to say that they did. Oh, it's just really good. You know what it's like if you're into true crime. So I've been watching her, and she's always, or quite often, getting sponsored by Audible, which is fab, but I've never really got into Audible until I realised actually it's almost like Amazon Prime and Amazon Kindle, but it's easier to get access to anything that's not books. So I'm sounding like an advert, I'm not. But anyway, I had a look at it, and I've got into it, and I've found some amazing, like free podcasts. Now, I'm not been a podcast person, but I have found that whilst I've been at work and I've been in the office on my own, I have been listening to podcasts in the background, because it feels like I'm not in the office. Oh, no, sorry, I am in the office, but I'm not alone, which can be a bit spooky in the you know, kind of darker mornings. You don't want to feel like you're in the building on your own. Doesn't bother me. It's all locked, but you know, you kind of just a bit of company in the background. So I've been listening to those, and I've got a true crime podcast for today. I've also got a book I need to finish, and I'm going to be here a fair few hours. So yeah, it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. I might actually move my car because I'm a bit of a distance from the front door, and I have a feeling I'm going to get absolutely soaked. But we'll see. I might not. I might just leave it here. I'm basically parked in the street. The tattoo place is, if you can see this building here. Wow. Sorry about that really rough edit. I dropped the phone. So back here, there's a building, if you know if you can see it, back end of this bit, that's basically a pub, and the tattoo studio is in the back room of the pub. Completely separate. You're not getting people wandering in from the pub into the tattoo parlour and vice versa. Do people even say parlour these days? I don't know. But they've got a piercing studio in there as well, which is also separate. And yeah, that's where I'm going. So I'm just going to grab something to eat. I'm not sure if I've already said that. I don't know when my phone cut out. But I'm not going to grab something to eat. I've eaten. I'm going to grab something to drink. And I am going to give it 10-15 minutes, put my mask on, and go and get inked. Plus also check and see if she sent me the booking in consent form by email, because I have to fill that out electronically. So that's it for now. I will be doing some filming. I'll introduce you to Kat in a bit. But yeah, go and check out her work. So it's WitzTattoo on Instagram and Facebook, and it's all one word. But she's really cool. Her artwork's amazing. And I will catch up with you in a bit. This is the wonderful cat that I've been telling you all about. Oh, and this kind of rather amazing studio, which is a back room of a pub converted?
Yeah, back off.
It's the reception area, which I absolutely love. I love all these lights, they're really cool. Oh, and they've even got the same clock as I've got in my house. Right, so we're going to get set up and I will catch up with you in a bit. Morning again. Alright, so this is going to feel really weird. Mainly because I'm yet again sat in my car talking to myself. But because I'm kind of starting this vlog again, didn't really do an ending last time. And it all just feels a bit strange. So let me explain. Here I am. It is now the 22nd of April, 2021. And the first bit of the vlog you saw would have been December the 13th, 2020. What happened was when I got in for my appointment in December, we had a design, everything was fine until we looked at placement and where I wanted to get it. Unfortunately, sorry, my camera's a bit, let me balance it there and it might actually not, that's better. Yeah, so where I wanted to get it, I don't actually have enough space and it would have ended up either covering part of a tattoo I've already got or completely destroying something else, and it would have just looked really weird on where I wanted it. So we actually scrapped last time's appointment, which was great for my tattooist. She needed some art time anyway, and you know, it was a Sunday. I wasn't too bothered. I got my day back, went home, and did bugger all for the rest of the day. So here we are, April the 22nd, 2021. And I am rebooked in post-COVID lockdown 3.0, Christ knows what number we're on now. And we're back for the tattoo. Now, I am getting the same tattoo, which will be revealed shortly, but I've changed the placement. So the reason I've changed placement is one, so as I can actually get it, because I really, really want to get this tattoo. Two, because it's just an amazing design, but it's going to be almost like a memorial to 2020, in a very cryptic way. And also the other tattoo appointment that I've got, that was meant to be done in January 2020, and then life just got in the way, and then COVID happened. I'm actually having done on Sunday. But I don't want that tattoo anymore. I'm having something different. So I'm going to use the place I was going to use in December for that tattoo. And I'm going to do what I wanted in December today. If that makes any sense to you whatsoever. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. You know what I'm like, girls. You know what I'm like. If anyone's wondering, this top here is from Yours Clothing. I got it last summer. Really good to go under low cut tops. Because I'm having my thigh done today. I've just got a play suit on with a long skirt over the top, just in case you're wondering. And because this play suit is really low, I've just put like this harnessy, strappy crop top underneath. And this, strangely enough, is actually my bra. Yes, I said it, girls. Because this is actually a front fastening, which I'm finding a lot easier at the moment with my back being the way it is. And I kind of like it. It's a bit nice, isn't it? Yeah, don't know what the hell happened there. Oh, it's Megan. Hello, Megan. What are you doing here? You're not meant to be here. You're in a different studio. Sorry, just seen random tattooist. Anyway, I'm going to bugger off because I need to go and see Kat. You've seen the studio already, so I don't need to do that bit. But I will vlog what I'm getting done, and I'll catch up with you a bit later on. Bye! we doing? So I realised yesterday that I did the filming of the tattoo, but I didn't show you a final picture, so I'm going to insert that here. It's not 100% finished. The skin, because it's so high up on my thigh, the skin at the top of my legs is very, very thin, and it was starting to react to the trauma. Not the ink, there was no problem with that, but the trauma on the skin was getting too much, and it started to go lumpy. I mean, you know, most girls, people, humans in general have kind of like stretch marks in that area. We get them from when we grow up, and when we expand, you know, it happens. We've got it. I've also got some scars on my leg, and the thinness of the skin was starting to go bumpy. So we had to stop. So there's still a little bit of shading to do. There's a little bit of white work to do. However, because it was done so quickly, I booked a day session. I booked a whole day, and we had it done in 3 hours, just under 3 hours. So I saved a bit of money, which was really good, but I've rebooked in for September. So in September, we're going to do another tattoo that I want on that same leg, just below this one. So it's going to be just below my knee, and then come up and around. It'll make sense when you see it. But I don't want to tell you what it is, because it'll give it away, and I'm not giving it away. So yeah, we're going to do that one in September, and we'll finish off the white work on the tattoo. But yes, this is the tattoo. I will put it up again. Absolutely love it. It is my ode to 2020. It is a plague doctor, of course, but it was kind of a more gothic-y, steampunky, Victoriana style plague doctor, which is basically what we need. Apologies for any strange greeny bits going on. I'm actually sat here in my truck at the moment, so this is my little truck. I say little, it's fucking huge. But it's meant to be going to get some work done on it today, and the battery's died because it's been stood for 2 months without being used, and I need to get the work done so as it'll pass its MOT, so as I can drive it again and charge the battery. We see the cycle of yes. Anyway, so I'm sat here in the car on my day off watching YouTube videos, and thought, ooh, I didn't vlog the end of yesterday, so I'll do it now. So this is day 2. What did I do after it? So I drove home, obviously. I kept it aired. I had a play suit on, as I said, under my long skirt, so I didn't actually put the skirt back on. I just kind of nipped back to the car that was outside and drove home. It was covered in cling film, so it wasn't getting irritated or anything. Came home and I washed off the excess ink. I had a load of ink all around my knee and all around the inside of my leg. So I washed all that off and just left it alone for a while, let it dry out, let it air, and then had a bit of a lie down. It was a bit of a tiring day, driving 65 miles each way and having my leg hammered for 3 hours. Took care of me a little bit, so I had a bit of a nap, finished off the film I'd been watching on Netflix whilst it was being done, and then I warmed soapy water and just washed it down to get rid of all the excess ink that I wanted to get rid of, so as I don't transfer it onto everything, and let it just dry for the rest of the evening. Before I went to bed, I put on my favourite tattoo cream, which is the Lush Dream Cream. I don't need to put any bepanthen or anything on it because it's dry as no open wounds, and I find that if I put bepanthen on it, because the cream is quite thick, for my skin, it will pull the skin and it will make it bleed again, especially where my skin is so thin. But in general, I don't like the texture of bepanthen on my skin. So I put some Dream Cream on it before I went to bed, make sure it had dried itself down, and went to sleep. And then this morning I've done exactly the same thing again, made sure it's dry, and then put a little bit more cream on just to keep the skin supple, and letting it air dry. So I'm sat in my car at the moment with a long dress on, making sure that I haven't got tights or leggings or anything on, just letting it air dry while I sit and wait for this damn battery charger to change colour. For God's sake, it's been 3 hours. I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Anyway, yeah, so that's that. My next appointment is on Sunday. Like I said earlier, the Glamorous Griffin is coming with me, so will be two of us. I'll do a bit of filming of his, I'll do a bit of filming around the studio. It's actually Emma's new studio. She's moved during the first lockdown from where she was to the new one. Sorry, my camera's shaking again. There we go. Yeah, she's moved from her old studio to a new one, so I will yeah, I'll take some pictures of that. So I will catch up with you again in a minute. But yeah, I'll catch up with you again on Sunday. See you in a bit. And this is where we now are. So, what can I tell you? I can tell you that things didn't go to plan. Yes, I've had one of those fortnights, months, whatever, when things didn't go to plan. So, this video, as I said, should have gone up on the 2nd of May rather than the 9th. So it should have been last week's video. And the plan was have my tattoo with Kat and then have my tattoo on the Sunday with the Glamorous Griffin. Not that he was tattooing me. He wasn't tattooing me. He was just going to the same appointment. Let's not start rumours here. He was going to the same appointment. Unfortunately, things went wrong. Again, what can I say? So, in a way, it's done me a favour. But let me explain what's happened. Back in October 2019, all those eons ago when I was young and thin and beautiful. I'm lying, I was never young, thin and beautiful. Well, I was young, I'll give it that. Back in October 2019, I had some money and I thought, you know what, I'm going to book a day session with this artist. And no, I'm not going to name the artist because it's not fair on anyone. But we were going to book in with the artist, and the first half of the appointment, just book the day. She does this with us because we travel a distance to see her. So we pay a day rate and she'll do part of Gary's and then part of mine all in the same time. And she's brilliant for it. So I paid the money and booked early January 2020 for the Griffin to have his sleeve finished, because she's done all the other artwork on both sleeves and it needed to be done. And then the other half of the appointment, I was going to have my tattoo done, or whatever I decided to have done at that point. Unfortunately, when we got there, one of their animals had been ill. She does have a couple of pedigree dogs, and one of them it has a lot of problems sometimes because of the breed that it is. So, you know, we understood, fair enough. We rebooked the next time again, problems with the animals. We rebooked. Auntie Felicity came to visit and screwed up everybody's plans. We rebooked. Auntie Felicity wasn't playing that either. She moved studios. She had problems with people saying things. She was doing things when she actually wasn't. So she had a lot of problems. Her health and safety certificates took a long time. There was a whole palaver around the studio and her getting that set up. And it was mainly due to Auntie Felicity, yet again, sticking her oar in where it wasn't wanted. And not just sitting down quietly with a cup of tea in the corner. So there was that. We then rebooked again, and guess what happened? Auntie Felicity said, no, you're not going to leave your house. I'm putting my foot down. No, it's not happening. So we then rebooked again, which would have been the appointment I was talking about. And unfortunately, the tattooist herself got very ill and had to go into hospital. So we rebooked again. And now by the time I'm filming this, the appointment is actually tomorrow. However, in this period saga of cancellations, Auntie Felicity, issues, problems and everything else going on, me being me has changed my mind, I think 4 times on what I was going to get. Originally, the plan was I was going to get my Morrigan on my thigh. However, as you've seen from the video I've just put in, the little vlog, I've kind of run out of space that I want to ink. So I now have Katya's tattoo, where that was going to go, and then I was going to get some work done on this arm, but I've been completely unable to decide on what I want. I'm not sure what kind of style I want. So it was all a bit of a mess. So I spoke to her very nicely. She's given me back my half of the money, and the Griffin will still be getting his tattoo tomorrow. Now, the reason why I'm not adding it into this vlog is, one, because it's not about me, but that's not the reason. The reason I'm not adding it into this vlog is because I have actually got a plan. I've got a plan. It's a cunning plan. Could almost stick a tail on it. It's that cunning and call it a fox. If you get the reference, you are good with your TV series. Anyway, I've got a plan that in October I want to do Men's Month. So all my videos will be with the Glamorous Griffin for 4 weeks, and we're going to do men's stuff, men's fashion, and we're also going to talk tattoos. So it will all be in that one, and sorry you got to wait, but whatever. So I decided, because this has been asked for so many times, I would take away from the negativity that's around that appointment at the moment, and I would put the spotlight back on Kat. Oh, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to do, finally, they're all going, a tattoo tour on the work that Katya has done for me. I'm going to do other tattoo tours because I've got 3 main artists that have worked on me, and then I've got one I call my convention bits, which is other smaller artists that I've met who have only maybe done one piece for me. So there's a whole palaver around, there's a whole story to this whole sleeve. Anyway, I was going to do a spotlight on Katya's work, tell you a little bit about her, and do a tattoo tour. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm going to move over a little bit so as I can put some pictures up here. What I'm not going to do is physically show you. They are all photographed, so I'm going to put those up instead. And I will tell you where they are on my body. I will tell you, if I can remember, how much I paid for them. And I will do pain scales, all that kind of good thing. So we will start with the first tattoo Katya did for me, which is along here, which you've probably all seen in my videos, which is my moth. Now, when we were discussing this, let me tell you first how I met Katya. I met her, she's WitzTattoo, if anyone wants to look it up, so it's WITZ tattoo on Instagram. Her work is amazing. She is mainly black and white, but she will, or black and grey, but she will do colour if you ask her very, very nicely. And we are almost finished with the project, but I'm not going to tell you what the last piece is. I'm going to save it and vlog it for you. But that'll be in September. That one's already booked. So, met Katya at the Oxford Tattoo Convention in 2000 and I want to say 18. But I had been watching her work for a couple of years before that on Instagram. She's not very old. I think she's 30. Sure, she's just turned 30 or just turned... No. I'm going to say 30. I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to say 30. She works out of Liquor and Ink, which is the back half of the Crawford Arms pub in round Milton Keynes. It's in Wolverton. And yeah, I spotted her at the tattoo convention I went to in Oxford in 2018. And I was absolutely mesmerised by her work. And at the time, she was doing a portrait for... When they do conventions, they do like a competition. And she was doing a portrait of the drummer from Blink-182. And I can't remember his name. Is it Travis? Can't remember. She was doing his portrait and I was absolutely fascinated by watching her. And it was brilliant. Just head down, what I like in a tattooist, head down, cracking on with the work, and not in my ear. Anyway, she got on that, and I think she won something for it at that time. If not, she has won awards since then at various other conventions. And yeah, I was absolutely mesmerised by her work. It's absolutely brilliant. The next time I saw her, which was again the Oxford Tattoo Convention, I think that was the 2019 one. She was doing micro portraits. Now these are literally the size of a 50p piece. If you don't know how big a 50p piece is, you're probably looking at 1.25 inches tops in height, and they are pristine clear. They are stunningly clear. They are so detailed without being to the point where you can't see the detail, and it's just amazing. The way she works is phenomenal. So I actually waited 3.5 years. 3.5 years to get an appointment, and I finally had my first appointment in, oh Christ, when was it? January last year. So I think it was January 2020. It may have been just at the end of the year after. No, I think it was January. And it was my moth, which I will have put pictures up. Didn't really have a lot of issue with pain on that one. It was very detailed. It was, you know, obviously wasn't pain free. No tattoo is pain free, despite what anyone says. But yeah, it wasn't one that I was really going, you know, that kind of hurts. It took probably, I think it was about 2.5 to 3 hours, and I've never seen a tattoo done like it before. So the difference with Katya and the way she works, because she works in realism, and like I said, I've never had a realism tattoo artist work before on me. So most tattooists that I've seen draw the picture and then colour it in, shade it in. However, Katya doesn't do that. She literally works on light and dark. So there are no outlines, no straight lines. If I can show you this one, it's, you know, there's no outline here. There's no outline to the body. It is all literally done on shading. So there's no harsh line here with colour. It's just all shaded. And it was lovely. Fell in love with it. And then whilst I was chatting to her about, I had this whole inside forearm, didn't know what to do with it. What did she think? I said I wanted something kind of gothic, batty, completely the opposite to this arm. And we came up with the idea of this one, which is all here, which is going to be really difficult to show you on camera, which is why I'm not doing it. And that is, excuse me, Barry the Bat guarding his lantern with his wife Betty and the other bats in the background, and the moon and everything else. And it was done over 2 sessions. So we did the lantern and the bat first off. The bat does cover a previous tattoo, one that I've had many years, and it wasn't that I wanted to cover it up. It wasn't a bad tattoo at all. It did have some meaning behind it. However, it didn't at the time, or it doesn't now, go with the aesthetic that I was looking for. And unfortunately it was because it was here on this arm. If I show you on this arm, it was here, so just below my elbow, and it was just the wrong thing, and it was the right tattoo in the wrong place. So I may have it done again one day. I don't know where I'll have it done. If I ever go into this area, maybe it's one I could have here. I don't know. I need to think about it. I don't want it to look out of place. So yeah, it's one I need to think about. I may get it redone, I may not. But I'm not saying I wasn't covering a bad tattoo. So yeah, that's Norman. That's Barry. I name everything. Cars, tattoos, everything gets named. Sometimes they have meanings, sometimes they just look like what they are, and that looks like Barry the Bat. So yeah, again, it was done with no straight lines. It was done with shading, looking at the light and the dark. I wanted some form of gothic sleeve, but I didn't quite know how to incorporate what I really like. I wanted something ornate. And And she literally said to me, go and find some pictures, go and see what you like, and just send them to me. All I need is the ideas. And she came across, she said, I think this is the one. And I went, yeah, that'll do. And she literally just had a picture of a lantern, a picture of a bat, and she did the 2 stencils and she positioned them together and off she went. So yeah, I mean, her bat was actually a real life photograph of a bat. It wasn't someone else's tattoo, it wasn't a drawing, it wasn't anything like that. It was a real life photograph that she was working from. And I absolutely love it. We have had to go over it and we have added to it when I finished off the sleeve. But obviously because it was a cover up of a line tattoo, then we've had to darken it a little bit just to get rid of what was underneath. But that's fine because I like it dark. So we did the sleeve, and I had this piece here that we weren't quite sure what to do with. So we moved to that one, and she said, think of what you want to do with it. Do you want to do, you know, what do you want to do? What's the theme? So although the pieces in some people's minds don't go together, they kind of do. So this is the piece on this part of my arm here. I'm sure it's that big. It goes almost down the edge of that half muscle there, and that's this one. It came under Victorian lamppost, and it was entitled "Drunk Against Victorian Lamppost." And I decided he looked more like Jack the Ripper, so that's basically what he is. He's Jack the Ripper, skulking along a street. So the idea between the moth and the lantern and the bats was obviously the gothic dark, but it was also based on a moth to the flame kind of theme. So I wanted to see if we could fit in this beautiful slim picture that I found just to finish off that area, and it fitted perfectly. And I like the idea of having that shadow figure, makes it a little bit more spooky, without being creepy spooky and without being too obvious. It also blends in nicely. If it like to think of it as Jack the Ripper, it blends in nicely to my love of serial killers. Not my love of serial killers, but you know, I kind of find them fascinating. So it all links in really, really nicely. You've got the lamppost and the lantern, you've got the bats and the moth and the lights and all that good stuff. So that is all of here. What she also did for me, and it's not something I would normally ask, although this is actually the second time I've done it, but that will be explained when I get into this arm. My angel up here, when we did this one, she wasn't dark enough. It looked really, really odd. So we actually demonised her a little bit and darkened her up just in certain places, her hair, her eyes and her angel wing, just to make sure that it all kind of matched through. But I will talk about that one another time because it's by a different artist. Now, asking an artist to change someone else's design is not always good unless you've had a falling out with that artist, which I haven't. However, it was just the fact that at the time it was not dark enough, and I believe it was the different type of pigment or different ink that was used. I didn't recognise the brand as being one I knew from previous tattoos, and she did say they are quite dark pigment in this particular one, so it's worth, if you're quite happy for me to do it, I'll just, you know, darken it up. And I went, yeah, go for it. So I do love my gothic sleeve. Yeah, I know I got horrible arms, but if I got horrible thick bingo wings, at least I've got plenty of space to put artwork on them, and that's how I look at it. So that is that piece. That's my arm finished on that side. We then move on to possibly my favourite tattoo that I have. I've had a lot of favourites over the years, but obviously as you get more ink, you get more favourites. This one is possibly my favourite tattoo, and that is, of course, again, another piece by Kat, which is this one, which is on the inside of my lower left leg, and that is my Edgar Allan Poe themed tattoo. So you will see from the picture, I'm just looking at it here rather than up there because it's not there yet. So the portrait work on this is what I love about Kat's work. It is just so good. You can almost see what he's thinking. It's so smooth. The picture, the when I look at it, it looks really odd. So when she was tattooing it, she started doing this rounded bit here, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything because it probably looks great to you, but I'm not so sure. And then when she took a picture of it and turned it up the right way, it was like, wow, that's brilliant. And you can almost see his protruding chin, the bags under his eyes. You can tell that his skin was probably sallow and wrinkled, and he'd had a hard life, and you can tell that from the tattoo. Obviously it had to have a raven because Raven. And the rest of it I kind of left up to her. I gave her a couple of pictures that have been drawings of Edgar Allan Poe, and kind of like there's one, I've actually used it on my phone, and it's got Edgar Allan Poe and a cat and a raven, and then it's got some other bits. And she kind of took that idea of bringing all the elements into one and composed this piece. Now, the bits I love, the fact that she has put the quill across the picture and kind of breaks up the darkness from his outfit with that beautiful white feather. The fact that the inkwell is in the skull's eye is also brilliant. I will put up some pictures of this closer, so as you can see. The black candle, that was kind of an afterthought. The books that the skull is on, it's just wonderful. And then of course we did the moon. We were, and we may still go back and do this at some point, we were due to put some bat silhouettes against the moon. Unfortunately, the area that this is on, what can I say? I have never ever had a tattoo that has physically made me cry or scream. I've had a tattoo where I have cussed because it was so painful, because it went down my sciatic nerve and there was a lot of detailed work in that point. This went on damaged nerve endings, and because when you damage nerve endings, the pain doesn't go back to where it should be. So if you take the palm of your hand and you damaged these two fingers, or if you hurt these two fingers, this is where you'd feel the pain. If you damage the nerve endings severely in those two fingers, you could feel the pain here, 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 anywhere within that kind of limb. So because of where the whole side of that leg is damaged, I knew it was going to be painful. I did, for the first time ever getting tattooed, take some heavy duty painkillers. And I'm not just talking about a bit of paracetamol. I'm talking about heavy duty morphine based painkillers, because I knew this was going to be excruciating. But Kat, you were amazing with me. The first sitting on this, I tapped out after 4 hours. It was too much. There were some areas, the cat, the Maine Coon cat, the cat being done, couldn't even feel it. You could probably cut through that part of my leg and I wouldn't feel it. That part of my leg has been numb for a section about that big, has been numb ever since it was damaged. There's just no feeling there. I literally, it's just nothing. Around the ankle was painful, but the worst bits were his hair, the quill, the top of the cat's ear where it's quite dark, and the raven. When we did the moon, it wasn't quite so bad, but it was still really, really painful. And it wasn't because of that place is painful. I have a tattoo in exactly the same place on the other leg. Nothing. Just sat there and got it done. It was a little bit ouchy towards the bottom by my ankle. This was unbelievable. Even the other tattooists were like, we didn't think you'd make it that far. We didn't think you'd make it to 4 hours. But yes, I did tap out. she had done most of it. She hadn't done the moon, she hadn't done the candle, and she hadn't done a lot of the outside shading. But she said, there's no way I'm putting you through this. We'll tap out here and go and rest it, and we'll come back in a couple of months and we'll get it finished. So when she finished that one, it was when she also did all of this for me as well. So pain, quite possibly the worst one. Well, it is absolutely the worst one I've ever had. I absolutely adore it. I am so, it's kind of a FU to the damage that is in my leg, because I never thought I'd be able to get that part of my leg tattooed, which was a shame, because kind of the front was done, the back was done, and I had all this spare space. But I am so pleased it's been done. So pleased. It's gorgeous. It's me in a tattoo. It is, sorry, I keep looking down because I'm looking at it on my leg. But yeah, it was the most painful thing I've ever had done. The second session, I think we did 2.5 hours on it, so it's had quite a chunk of work. I think we did 2.5 hours to finish it off, and I couldn't be happier. It's beautiful. It is the one tattoo I do have to put extra moisturiser on because of the damage in my leg. They do go very dry. So yeah, that's the one problem with that damaged leg is it the extra moisturising. But you know, a couple of times a week with a good deep cleansing moisturiser does the trick. The next one and the last one, or the most recent one I've had done, is this one. This is my Plague Doctor. This was a rebooked appointment. Again, this was a flash sheet that she did for Halloween, and it was quite funny. It came up on Instagram and I went, how much? I'm buying it. So I'd bought the design ahead of it being done, and it was a one-off. She won't ever do this design again. So again, it's another unique piece for me, which is what I love about tattooists, when they don't copy out the same stuff over and over and over again. It was the one that we were going to do that didn't fit here. I wanted it here, but I just don't have the space. It wouldn't have looked right. So we ended up putting it on my thigh, which is why my tattoo other appointment has been changed so much as well with what I want. We are currently, where are we? 8 days would have been Friday. So we're 10 days in. I am almost healed. I have a couple of areas that may need going over just because of where I've got scars. They just need a little bit more inking. The white work still needs to be done, and the what else needs to be done on it? I think there's a bit of shading still that needs to be done as well. But we're going to do all that with the next piece, which is going to finish this leg. So it's all part of it, but I'm not telling you what it is. That's a surprise for September. But yeah, there you go. That's my kind of tattoo tour of Katya's work. All pictures are up on my Instagram if you want to go and have a nose. I will put links below to Kat's Instagram and her Facebook. Please go and check her out, even if you just love tattoos or love artwork and want to give somebody a follow. Her work is amazing. She does some amazing reveal stories. She uses a cleaner afterwards to take all the excess ink off, and it foams up. So she'll spray this stuff on and it'll foam, and then she does like these reveals on video where she'll just wipe away the foam and you get this beautiful picture underneath. Neither of mine are on her Instagram at the moment. And the reason being, they were so red because of the damage to my Edgar Allan Poe limb, and my Plague Doctor being so high up on my inner thigh. The area is quite delicate anyway, and my skin there is quite thin. It always has been. Even as a kid, you could see my veins on that part of my leg. So the skin couldn't physically take any more. So yeah, it was very, very red. The red disappeared about 4 days later, but she didn't get to get any decent pictures of it. It just looked really angry. So when I go and see her in September, we'll get pictures of these two. But like I said, all her links are down below. She is a fantastic artist. She's got amazing patience. So yeah, go and check out Liquor and Ink. There's also Who else works there? Lydia Rose works there. Her work is lovely. If you like a lot of naturally type work, she's really good at that. We have Gypsy Moth. His work is lovely. Shaman Ink. Can't remember, and I know the new guy there is Spike, but I can't remember his link. But I will find them all and I will put them down below. They work at Liquor and Ink in Wolverton in Milton Keynes area, and believe me, it is worth the 69-mile trip for me to go and get it done every time. So that's my tattoo tour for today. Sorry the vlog didn't go quite as planned. Sorry you had to sit and listen to me waffle yet again. But what I'm going to do is over the coming next year, I will put in other tattoo tours. I will complete my vlog of what's happening with this leg. Again, absolute secret because she knows what I want, and I think the Griffin knows, and I think my best friend, and that's about it. I haven't told anyone else yet what my next tattoo is going to be after what I wanted anyway. So yeah, I'm really excited to get that one done. I'm probably expecting a bit of pain on that one just because of where it is, but hey, we'll get through it. I will be doing other tattoos. I will be doing Emma Smith, who did my angel. I'll be doing all the work that she's done on me. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces on me, I believe. 1, 2. Yeah, I think about 6 pieces. And I'll also be covering Joel P. Blake, who is a Swindon-based artist. He works at Black Chalice. He has started my tattoo sleeve kind of journey and has done most of the work on my right leg and a massive piece on my left leg, which I can't wait to show you all. So I'm going to leave it there. My back is really starting to play me up again, so I hope this was okay. I'm not very good at doing tattoo tours. It's my first one, so if I got it wrong, I'm really sorry. So I'm going to go away and leave you in some peace. I'm going to go away and edit and do all that good stuff, and I will catch you next week. And until then, as always, my gorgeous ravens, mwah, just do.